In this short video, we're showing how Rental360 meets some of the needs of the construction industry. Specifically, we're going to look at how a construction company that owns its own equipment and uses it on construction projects can get both the cost and the revenue over to the project. Rental360 has two methods of accomplishing this. The first one would be a traditional rental that uses day, week, month billing and tends to be used when the equipment's on site for a longer term and we're starting to do cycle billing. The second method we're going to show is more what we would call usage billing. And in that case, we're filling out construction work order, both the usage of the equipment and possibly an operator and charge items as well. Let's start by going under Rental Preferences, and we have a new Constructions tab where we have some of our defaults. One of the important one here is the e-bill. That's the work order type that acts as a pro forma for method 1, traditional rental billing. So that's a pro forma work order that we can see what's going to get billed out. Next, let's look at the project equipment rates under the construction suite. And we can see we have a base rate if there's no project specified. And then we're tracking the 550 is the scissor lift. That's its category class, CAT class. And then we can also make it specific, rates specific to a project. We have a usage code concept, which dictates how the equipment's being used. Is it a regular full-priced rental? Or is it idle time or downtime or repair time? And all those can have different rates. And then, of course, the rental unit of measure could be day, week, month, 28-day month, or 30-day month, or calendar month. And then we track the rates. And again, there's our two types of rates. There's billing amount and cost amount are for traditional rental, method 1. You can see how the rates differ. And then method 2 is the usage price and usage cost, which operate usually on a daily process on a construction work order. Let's start by putting in a new work order. We're going to change our order type to a CO, which is a rental type. We'll put in Flagger as the customer, and we'll pick the project. We also have another option in Rental360. If a project has multiple job sites, they could be floors or they could be lots, different addresses, then we could pick a job site as well. It is not required. Next, we'd want to pick when it's supposed to come back off rent, just for planning and forecast purposes. So let's pick our 550 scissor lift, and we're going to do what's called a quick rent, so we don't have to create a on-rent work order. We're just going to select a piece of equipment that's going on rent, and then we can do a one-click rental. Quantity 1 in this case, that's at $3,000 from the rate table for a monthly rate, and we'll just hit the quick rent button, and that immediately puts it on rent. If we want to look at that order again and see how it went on rent, there's our on rent tab. It's showing us there's one currently on rent, there was one originally rented, the on rent date, and then eventually the return date would be in there. And we can track meters as well as when it gets returned. And if the job site physical location were to change for this asset, we could change it here as well. So the next thing we'd want to do is typically create a cycle bill. Now, a cycle bill is usually done in bulk across all projects and or customers or orders, and you don't have to do one at a time. In this case, we're going to do a cycle bill directly from the order, and there's two ways of doing it. One is the option cycle bill, but the second is doing it from this screen as well, just so you can see where the cycle is. So those are the dates in service from April 27th to May 24th. That's our 28-day range. And what we want to do is process that to create the equipment work order that will have the information and the billing amount for the rental. So this can be automated and go straight through the project, but for purposes of this demo, we're going to show what it looks like. So the work order type is the E, equipment bill. We have activated the project equipment tab, and on this tab you'll see the equipment number, the unit price, as well as the cost from the rate table. They could be changed at this point if you wanted to. It has the actual start date and time, and then we added in a note that will flow over to the project transaction, which can be used for informational purposes and billing. So our goal is to post this to projects and be able to hit both a billing and a cost account group for this task and cost code. So you can see it generated the project transaction, And there's a project transaction with both cost code for equipment billing and equipment cost. And then as we scroll across, we have our revenue amount and our cost amount, as well as the work order number and the note that we had pushed through from the rental. Now for the second method, we're going to go into work order types, and there's our construction work order, and we're going to set some flags on it. So the behavior is to track crew time, it's billable. We do want to post to time activity, and we want to post to our analytics tables as well. We're going to post to the project. There are some default count groups, and we don't really need the equipment usage tab here. That's now going to go under the project accounting tab, which is the same tab we just looked at. But this time we're going to manually enter it, and we'll also add in some charges, the charges tab as well. So this time we'll go directly into work orders without a rental order as we had before, the CO. And this time we'll create a construction work order using the CWO. Pick the same customer. And again, you don't need to do the job site, but we will select the correct project. So we go to our project equipment tab, and instead of it being pre-populated based on the rental contract and the rental cycles, we can enter this in day by day. So this can be multiple days in one row. It can be a row per day, but we're going to pick our cat class for the scissor lift. We're going to pick a specific piece of equipment. We're going to pick the warehouse that we're going to pull it from, and the location comes up, quantity 1. Now those rates are defaulting based on our usage price and cost, as opposed to the rental price and cost. We could have this for multiple days. We can also track the operator on the same construction work order, give him a long day. And of course, this will post through to time activity, and you'll see it picks up both the cost and a labor rate, which can be changed here as well, or disabled or hidden. And that would have pushed both the labor and the equipment usage costs over to the project. The other tabs here, we just put in the service charges, which could have been billed there, as well as stock items, parts could have been billed there as well. And that would create the PM transactions.